calm myself as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our first panel here at megacon. So please join me in giving a massive round of applause to two talented actors you may remember from Torchwood. I'm sure you do. Please give it up a massive round of applause to the brilliant Gareth, David, Lloyd, and Owen. Yeah, go for it. Oh. Yeah, I think he's just running around to sort you out.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Good morning. So thank you for joining us here in megacon in Birmingham. How have you both been? It's been a while since we've seen you on our stage here. So how has it been for you in the last few years with everything going on and all of the resurgence with Big Finish and everything?
Do you know what? Lockdown for me was lovely. I live in a nice part of Wales, quite rural, so it enabled me to spend loads of time with my kids and my wife and animals, and you don't get to do that, especially at that age of school all the time. So I feel quite privileged and quite lucky that I had that time with my family. And then I went straight from that. I was really lucky. I did a play in London. Since then it's been dead. I can't afford a haircut, but you know, ups and downs. Yeah, it's been alright.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad actually. I mean, lockdown was crazy as it was for everybody, but it's just sort of starting to get. I mean, it's been very quiet the past few months, but did a little bit of filming last year. I did a film during lockdown as well, an independent film called Protein. Did a series last. I went to see Gareth in his play, International, which was amazing, absolutely amazing. So always been good actually. Haven't done a convention for a while, but the last time I seen Gaz was in Wales Comic Con in Telford. So they're just sort of like getting back on the circuit with these, I think, as well. It's great to see people here and they're busy and all that. So
was that before lockdown? Or just,
no.
It was just during, is it?
Yeah, it was not last November, the November after.
Right. Yeah.
When they opened a big perspex screen.
That's right.
In front of herself. She had a big perspex screen. She insisted on it, but she still went in front of it to give people hugs and selfies. Figure that one out.
It's pretty clever, that one, isn't it? And do you find that that's one of the great things about your experiences on Torchwood is that everyone seemed to get on so well, and there's that really good relationship that you had backstage, and you could all take the mick out of each other, and it just made it easier to work with than it would be in some productions?
Yeah, we were lucky. I think we all had the best time on Torchwood. You know, it was such a happy job and mates for life, and we genuinely did get on with everybody. So I think that was the joy of it, really. Especially in the first two seasons of it, it was really quite intense, long. It was a long shoot. They really bonded massively over those first two seasons.
Yeah, really lucky. Doing Torchwood opened up this whole convention world for me as well. I mean, it's been a gift that keeps on giving in that respect. Seen so much of the world and travelled to so many different cons. And at those cons, you hear horror stories from other casts that they hate each other. They don't have lunch in the trailers because they couldn't stand to be around each other. They were expected to look romantically involved on screen, and you know, I can imagine that could be quite awful. An ordeal for an actor and a cast. So we were really lucky that we didn't have any of that. We were all really.
Yeah, we'd had lunch together. We'd go out together. It was genuinely a really happy time.
It became a way of life, in fact, for you for that period of time, didn't it?
Yeah, it was intense. Like I said, the first two seasons especially were like April to right. It was almost the whole year, really, April till end of November. So it was quite a full-on shoot the first two seasons. And that's where I think we got on immediately though. Like it was a real that first read through in the Holland House Hotel was a messy, crazy night, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. No, it was.
And I think it just set the tone for like going forward. I think.
We're all sort of in the same boat because it wasn't an established show. It was a brand new idea. It was an experiment, really. It could have gone one way or the other. Everyone knew that, but they also knew how sort of fresh and exciting it was, and we all loved it. We all really wanted it to work. We wanted it to connect with people. We wanted
And John worked incredibly hard at doing that. You know, John, he made sure that we were all sort of welcome and a massive team. You know, he knew what it needed, and I think he led the way with that, and then we just followed and gelled from there.
He was a great patriarch for the team. Really, if anybody had any problems or any issues, then John would sort them out for you. And then the runner, we had that little dog with there was a runner with a little sausage dog, and the dog broke its back, and he was just crying one day on the set, and John said, "Well, what's the matter?" He said, "My little dog is falling, and he's broken his back, and he can have an operation and get wheels for his back legs, but it's going to cost like 20 grand." And John just paid for it.
Wow, that's really, I mean, that instills almost straight away an element of family on a set, doesn't it? It must make it just a fun place to go to work every day, because it's not every day you go into a job and you feel at ease like that.
No, exactly.
And
it was important because the chemistry was a huge part of it, I think. And torchwood was a team on screen, and very much a team off it as well.
And Gav, you mentioned rightfully that torchwood at the time was seen as an experiment. When did you kind of realise that it was actually paying off and it was massively successful?
Like after the first couple of episodes were aired, I mean, the instant sort of online response was really, really positive. So our viewing figures were they started good and went to excellent rather quickly. So we knew quite early on that it was part of a success.
There was a great buzz about it, wasn't there? There was a great buzz about Doctor Who itself coming back. It was a great sort of Russell had taken over, and Christopher Eccleston and Billy, and there was a huge buzz about it all, and I think within 12 months of that airing, Russell had muted a spin-off set in Wales with an alien crime fighting team, which got the universe and the geeks excited, because that just sounds amazing. And I remember hearing about it, being excited about it as a fan, and it just grew from there. So there was a big build-up to it, and I think when it came on to BBC Three originally, it just didn't disappoint. It just ticked every box, you know what I mean? And I think it grew from strength to strength, certainly for season 1, 2, and 3 anyway.
And your characters kind of had a really cool arc for you as actors, because they started off as smaller characters but just expanded as the series went through. It got bigger and bigger, more so based on your performances as well as fans just fell in love with them. And how did you feel when you first started seeing all this love pouring out for the roles you were playing?
It was great, especially when in the first couple of lines, the series only had a couple of lines, first couple of episodes only had a couple of lines. So I suppose that added a bit of sort of mystery to Yanto, and people wanted to solve that mystery. So I think we got some fans early on because it was really hints of a character rather than anything was fully formed until the Cybergirl episode. So
oh yeah, amazing.
Yeah, but both of us, our characters were both supposed to be killed off in the first series, but due to the popularity of the characters, we both lived to see another series.
Reese is only going to be in about 5 episodes in the first season, and I remember speaking to the producer asking, he said, "Yeah, it's a semi-regular, the boyfriend of Gwen," and I knew Eve from before. Me and Eve had known each other since youth theatre in Wales, and I knew Eve's partner, and we'd socialised as mates, so I knew Eve before Torchwood. And I remember her speaking to me on that first read-through night that we had. I remember her saying, "We've got to make these characters real, we've got to make Gwen and Reese a real couple, so for you to have any chance of," and she said that, "for you to have any chance of surviving and having more than 5 episodes, we've got to make them a real couple and make them believable." And I'll never forget her saying that. And I think then it sort of grew, because Reese did die, I think, at the end of season 1, but then they did something to sort of bring him back. And I think they made a decision then in season 2, obviously, with to get Reese more involved, and he knew about it. So it just grew, you know. And I remember watching. I remember James Strong did the side of the episode, didn't he? It was such an exciting time when any of us sort of got the big sort of substantial stuff. That was a brilliant time, a great episode.
By the time you get to Miracle Day, you become a dying dad that's trying to protect his child. It's
yeah, he was just there. It was just Reese, the kid left at the end of it.
Yeah. And of course, we didn't end there because we got Big Finish, and those have gone on to expand Torchwood and allow you to do more work on that. How did you first get involved in that? What did it feel like to reprise your roles, but this time in a completely different way?
Working with the characters and the cast so closely and for so long, you do sort of form a relationship with them. So it was brilliant when Big Finish phoned up and said, "Come on in, we got a Yanto-centric episode," and it was it'd been a while since I'd seen Yanto, so it was nice to sort of see him again and remember him and we could get back into his skin, and it was a good thing, and we've been doing it since. So it's been nearly 20 years, I suppose, since I've been playing Yanto. Coming up. When was the first season? 2007, wasn't it? Okay, so
2006, I think.
Yeah, so 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, always utterly grateful for Torchwood for days like, for weekends like this, for events and catch up with Gareth, and then for Big Finish again, which is a gift that keeps on giving. He keeps calling up and going, "Look, we've got an episode. We've got a Reese and his man. We've got a Reese and Yanto
And the barbecue
together. Reese and Yanto about to go barbecue. I've just done one with a guy. Oh, I can't remember his name. He played PC Youngly. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter his name.
Tim Rice.
Tim Rice.
Tim Rice.
And he wrote one. Wasn't very well written, but it was a good laugh to do. But yeah, it's all jokes aside. Tom Price has just written one, and you know, I got to the Big Finish with Reese and Andy, which is kind of like in the early days where people used to write fan fiction. They sort of come into life a little bit in Big Finish, you know. So if you've got any ideas, Big Finish will grab them and run with them.
Having heard of some of the fan fiction, I think we'll just say Big Finish will probably go a big no to some of it.
Yeah, you haven't seen the extra Big Finish stuff.
Oh.
That's on sale on the dark web. Get involved.
Well, there is an open mic there, ladies and gentlemen. So if you would like to step up and ask a question, please do feel free. We don't charge or we don't bind, so go ahead and ask your question. We'll start off with Spider-Man here.
Hiya, I just want to say thank you for Children of Earth, because I think it's the most perfect piece of TV to exist.
Oh, thanks, man.
Up until episode 5.
Yeah, that's true. So,
There's only 4 episodes.
and in regards to poor Yanto's death, I'm afraid this question is really just for Kai. So there's been reports from the Mirror and rumours that Russell is starting a new unit spin-off with Gemma Redgrave and Eve Miles in the lead. And I was wondering if you'd heard anything about that, or would be down for doing some stuff back in the role.
I would definitely be down for doing some stuff, but I've not heard of anything at all. I saw something. I think there's always going to be rumours now that Russell is involved with Doctor Who, which is great for our world. But until it happens, I wouldn't believe anything really.
Well, I'd love to have that.
But I believe you mean though. If any of us would, if we got a call, we jump at the chance. Definitely. I think as with Eve, as with any of us. So yeah, I'm sure there's a spin-off. He's got to do something. I'm sure he will.
Yeah, well, Eve's been spotted back in Cardiff.
Nah, she lives there, so that's why it's so soon. Fingers crossed, Spidey. Fingers crossed, Spidey.
Actress spotted near her home.
Hello. Hi, Ethan. Come a bit closer to the mic.
I love Torchwood.
You can give us a hug. When you come and see us at our table, we'll have a chat to you then. No problem.
Lovely, thank you for coming all that way. We appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Ethan.
And we can't be alluded there at the question about Russell and bringing things back. Do you think that is the joy of doing a role in in sci-fi is that you just never know what can happen. I mean, Yanto got killed off, but he could come back. So do you think that adds a little bit more when you do a sci-fi role to you?
Yeah, I think sci-fi offers that sort of escapism to a world where everything is possible. I was a massive Star Trek fan when I was younger because it was an escape from the mundane, where everything seemed possible. So yeah, it's exciting to be part of that world, and it is always, you always have it in the back of your mind, sort of, well, it could come back to life, they could do this, they could do that, they could do that, which I suppose keeps it exciting and does keep it in the back of your mind, ticking away.
They can do whatever they want, and I think that's Big Finish have kind of done that, because you can have flashback episodes, you can have prequels, you can introduce whatever world you want, really. So who knows? Who knows what will happen?
And we have another question for you.
I suppose beyond Torchwood, which is a great show, which I really enjoyed, and on Doctor Who, but I suppose if you could do anything else beyond Doctor Who, you could have any role or any type of film, what would you do? If you could have a choice of your own, I suppose like Marvel or DC or something like that, you know?
When I was a young actor, when I was in drama school, in theatre, I always thought my career was going to have a lot more swordplay. And have no swordplay whatsoever. But I always envisaged me doing some type of fantasy adventure where I get to swing a massive double-handed broadsword at somebody, and it's still to happen. So something like that, and then my dream will be realised as an actor. Something fantasy adventure where I get to charge in the battle with a sword.
Yeah, I think it's quite tricky, I guess, because I think we don't really get to choose what we want to do, and it's that. So I guess these are all sort of pipe dreams, and maybe one, who knows? I know I'd like to do a bit more theatre. I'm a big fan of the national gareth work. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice dream to do one day on stage there. But actually, I think if I could choose something, I'd like to maybe look at some character-based sort of comedy stuff, light-hearted dramas, that sort of stuff, where I get the chance maybe to be completely different, something like that maybe, I think. But there's so much getting made. But I don't. Yeah, I think maybe some comedy, whatever. Maybe like a studio-based comedy, like the old, some studio sitcom stuff, just to try to handle that. I think that's a skill with multi-camera and a live audience. I think that's quite a skill that I've not even had a chance to do that yet, but I've had a couple of mates doing that, and that's quite hard. Because you rehearse it during the week as you would a piece of theatre, with blocking and the cameras come in, you have a camera rehearsal, and then you perform it live, it's a live recording. So I think that'd be quite an interesting sort of medium sort of explore, so maybe something along the lines of that. Thank you, mate. Thank you.
And you kind of pick up on there when you said there's a lot of stuff being shot now. Do you think that's because we now have literally, I don't know, I could list hundreds of services, they're all popping up every day, we get a new one. How has that changed the life of being an actor, or has it affected you?
Well, it means a lot more actors are getting work, but then it means there are a lot more actors.
Yes.
And it is a certain, the way the casting sort of works now, especially since the pandemic and everything, is very much self-tapes. And I'm very much from Kai in the sense that I like character acting, I like changing myself. But the sort of scope for that style of acting is just not as big anymore. People, when casting director used to see a self-tape, they sort of want to see the character, or sort of want to see someone that fits the character, so they don't have to go down that sort of road. It's easier to cast somebody who sort of is that person rather than a character actor who can change themselves.
And there's more stuff getting made, obviously, which is great. There's more channels, there's more streaming services, but also, as Gareth alluded to the pandemic, we now, as actors, hardly ever go into a room to meet people for the audition. It's all done on self-tape. So where a casting director would maybe see 30 people of a morning, maybe in a casting office or a studio, they can now see 60 people for that particular role via a self-tape. Maybe not that many, but that sort of like, that's what we're dealing with at the moment. They can see more people, they can spread their net wider because they can just watch self-tapes. You know what I mean? So it's becoming, there's a flip side to it as well, I think.
And as well, I guess there's also the lack of personality when you're doing a self-tape as well.
Exactly, I think that's it.
Exactly, and you can't, it's difficult without you sort of talking in the camera.
You've got to get a bit of yourself across in the interview. You've got to get a bit. You've got to bring a bit of yourself to a room. You try and bring a bit of yourself to the script and all that, but then what you want to do as actors really is you go into the audition and you offer something to the casting director and the director and the producer, and then you're hoping for a bit of notes back, aren't you?
Yes.
You won't go, that was nice, let's try this. We'll be with you in a second. Let's try this. And then get a bit of direction in the room. And then if they consider you're malleable and there's a relationship, they go, oh, that's nice.
Exactly. When you're in your room, you get cast on the creative relationship. When it's a self-tape, you get cast on how much you, as you are, fit that character.
You've got to nail it. So
you've got to nail it. Yeah, you've got to be that character. Which is, I suppose, takes the stress out of it. So you sort of go, well, I'm just going to be as close to myself as I can. But it's a lot of them are almost like lottery tickets. Self-tapes, because like I said, they see so many people now.
They can cast the net a lot. Hello, darling. Hello.
My name is Holly. Last time Happy told you about me a few years ago.
Okay. Hiya, Holly. Holly with an I?
Wow.
With a Holly with a Y. How are you? Are you good? Where do you come from today?
North Wales.
North Wales?
That's where you're from.
I'm from North Wales. Whereabouts in North Wales?
Daniel.
Daniel. Speak Welsh. Tipping Bar. Have you got a question for me or Gaz?
What's your favourite memory from Torchwood?
What's our favourite memory from Torchwood? Amazing. It's a brilliant question. It's a brilliant question. There's so many. There are so many. But for me, one of my favourite days is when Reese finally found out about Torchwood and I got to go and play on the hub with all the rest of the team. That was a great day because it was mental. I'd heard all about them and obviously hung out with them, but all my scenes were usually with Eve in Gwen and Reese's flat. But then when Reese suddenly found out about Torchwood, I got to go and play on the hub, obviously with John and Gareth and Bern and Ayoko, and it was mayhem. It was like an asylum that was locked in this hub, and it's very similar to this really, with like black curtains all around it, and then you would just go through the curtain and the hub would be there, wouldn't it? And it was brilliant, and I remember just being there, obviously, just having the best the best time on that particular block, working with them there, and seeing the hub for the first time.
Yeah, so my first day, I think, my first scene I ever shot was when he comes through the beaded curtains in the shot in the front of Torchwood, and he talks to Gwen. I was so nervous. So getting that scene and I was saying that was great. It was just a feeling which I'd never had before. It was amazing.
I remember being offered the job as well. I remember where I was when my agent called me to say that I'd been offered the role of Reese, and I was in Crouch End on the high street with people acting in Crouch End, and I remember exactly where I was when he said he got Torchwood.
I was about to step on the train to go to North Wales to Theatre Fluid for audition for a Noel Perry play.
Wow.
I was literally about to step on the train and I'd done the audition for Torchwood like 3 weeks before, so in my mind it had gone away.
It was a long wait for the audition.
So I got the call and I said, Gareth, don't get on the train. I was like, why? He's got a bomb or something. She said,
You don't need to do theatre anymore!
Don't need to do Noel Perry and Theatre Fluid. But don't get me wrong, I love Theatre Fluid and I'm working there. But it was a regular in the TV show, so it was a dream come true.
Is that okay? Thank you for your question, Holly with a Y.
Thank you, question.
No.
If
Well, Yanto worked for Torchwood 1. So, in alternate universe, Yanto would still be alive and working with Yvonne Hartman.
Yeah, nice.
But she died actually, and so he'd be doing something with Torchwood 1 because he survived. He didn't meet Jack, or if Jack turned him away, then he probably would have had to go somewhere else to fix his psychic girlfriend.
Reese would be an exhausted father of 5, probably, and his wife would still be a policewoman, and he'd be knackered and still working for his haulage company, Harwood's Haulage, and he would be a regular dad, I should imagine. Reese taking kids to football or dancing on the weekends and working hard, doing school runs through the week. He was such a normal bloke that got caught up in this extraordinary world. Reese would still be on that sort of path, I think, and would be absolutely oblivious to everything that goes on. But he'd be happy, and I think at his heart, from my point of view as an actor, obviously amazing to be involved in all the crazy stuff. But Reese wants none of it and wants Gwen to be like rid of it ASAP so he can get back to the normal mundane life. I think he's a man of simple pleasures, and he wants to play with his mates on a Friday and watch the rugby and that sort of world. And I think that's what Reese would probably be doing. Thank you, Ella.
Now, aside from Yanto's death, but if you could have a chance to change any of your character's story arc, what would you like to have changed and why?
I really want to, but I can't tell.
Honestly,
I can't tell if it would be a good question. I might ask the question after Adam.
my answer would